welcome to Skillify. And now today we'll resume our journey to cover the home tab completely. So now we'll see how we can format the numbers. So there are multiple type of formatting, right? If you have to format your number as like a normal number, just a number, you can just format it as in the account format. There are still some multiple of formats, right? So even though you have written thousands, okay, so let's say I have written this thousand, so it's easy to understand for me and you. But let's say if there is a scenario and there is a big number like this, you have typing something random. So now it will be hard for you to read it out, right? So what you can do is simple. You can put the comma separators in order to read out this particular value. So that particular thing we can do from this number section. Okay. So what I'll do is simple. I will, let's say I'm typing something. So this is my, let's say, currency. So I'm typing some numbers this way random. So what I want is simple. I want to uh, format them as my currency, some other currency. So what I'll do is simple. I will select them this way. Okay. I will select the range and I will go to this number tab, and you can see that over here there is a uh, text box. So you can just click on this drop down and you will see how many formats we have. We have the general one, basically normal numbers. Then you have this numbers of like where that decimal is kind of mandatory thing. Then you have currency where you have this currency sign. So it could be dollar, it could be ruble, or it could be any type of currency. Then we have the accounting format, we have the date format, we have the time format, the percentage, fraction, scientific, and all. And in the last, you have this more number format. So now my first thing concern is to tell you that the window we have, we can just get it by Control Shift F. That particular thing we can access by clicking on this expansion also, and whenever you click on any drop down you have the access to get this particular dialog box. Okay, so now right now I am exploring the number tab. So in this dialog box also we'll go to this number tab, and you can see that number is there, currency, accounting, everything is there. Now let's say I have this number and I'm just formatting it as a currency. So you can see the difference, right? You can see the difference. But let's say I don't want it. I don't want the zero to be there. Okay. So my concern is to remove this zero. How can I do that? First, you need to select the range. Now there is a shortcut, and just notice this down. What you can do is simple. One way is to pressing left key from your mouse, and you are selecting it manually. Second thing is pressing on it, pressing shift and then going one by one by your downward key, like the page down key. And the most important way to just select your data range is just simple. Click on the heading or the next cell to the next to the heading. Just click on it and press Control Shift. Okay, hold Control Shift and then now click on the down arrow. So we have this page up, page down. We have four keys to navigate in our laptop, right? So just click on the drop down. Sorry, downward arrow. So you click on it and now entire data is get selected. Let's say assume this is just 4 lines of data. Even though there will be 4,000, there can be 4,000 rows of data. Even the lakh number can reach to the lakhs. So what you can do is simple. The shortcut is whenever you press Control Shift down arrow, so Excel will take you to the end of your selection, end of your table. Okay. Same way, click on the downwards and Control Shift up arrow, and it will take you to the very first row. Okay. So this is the way you can select the data. So I am selecting it Control Shift down arrow. Now coming to the number section, you can see these two things are there. That this one is to increase the decimal after a number, or this one is to decrease. So I will go with decrease, and you can see that zeros are gone. One way to do this is simple this. If I go with Control Z and I want to format this complete with this particular column. What I'll do is select this column, come to this general one, okay, and just come to this more number format. You can see that that one is my currency, and you can see that over here in this section you will see the sample how your number will look like when you are inserting a value. Okay, let me just show you. So whatever changes you want to make into your data, that will always look like look in the, you can see it in the sample section. Now see, this decimal places 2 is selected, even though I haven't selected it, but this 2 is there. But I can decrease the number of decimal manually. So I can just go with 0, 1. Okay. And now all I need is just to click on OK. And now there is no 0 out there. But there is a difference. Now this is not even currency. This is just a number. And you can see that from here, right? We have just made it the currency lastly. And now we have again made it the number back. Okay. Now, again, let's say I have given you a very huge number like this, and now I'm not able to read it out. Okay, so what I'll do is simple select this particular cell, all the range what you have, and come to this number section, and this comma is there, just click on it. And you'll see it is up, it has applied the comma separator, the 1000 separators out there. Okay, and now again one more thing is that this dot 20 after dot is there, right? After decimal you have 20. So I have told you how you can just make changes into the formatting part. Okay, now moving to the next area, very important, very useful. First of all, I have a table. Okay, let's say I have a data. I want to create a table. For that, let me just open a file for you. Let's take some random data. Okay, so what I'll do is simple. I have this data. What I'll do, this is kind of your raw data, and I want to insert a table. Okay, understand one thing. Whenever you insert a data into Excel, that gets stored in the form of table, but that is not an ordinary Excel table. So make your data or to convert it as an ordinary Excel table, you need to insert a table. And the shortcut to do that is simple. Click anywhere inside your data. Okay, just one click, just select that cell and press Control T. And you'll have a dialog box in front of you. This dialog box is asking you one thing. Where is the data for your table? Now look at for these dancing ends. Can you see these dancing ends? These dancing ends are there. If I move to the right hand side, you can see that these dancing ends are there. And if I keep my cursor to the last of my data, and you can see that each and everything, every row is get selected, right? Automatically. Now, second thing you need to keep track of it. That is, do you have or your does your table have the headers? The what header is? Simple, the heading. Okay, so you have to select this option. You have this option over here. My table has headers, so select it. So what Excel will do is simple. It will just convert your headers as the column names. So just press on OK, click on OK, and now table get inserted. Now, if you want to make some change into your table, okay, so very most important thing is whenever you insert something in Excel, okay, whenever you insert something in Excel, it could be a shape, it could be a table, it could be a chart, it can be anything. So you'll get a different menu. So what I mean by menu is, see, we have this home, insert, draw, page layout tabs. Now you're having this table design as a new tab. So just remember it whenever you'll insert something, and if you want to make some changes into that particular thing which you have inserted, you'll get a specific tab. Okay. Now, if I look at my table, so my table name is table 1. If I want to perform some task over it, we'll see them later in the upcoming sessions. Now, main concern is to make some change into the design of my table. Now, understand this. There's a pattern of my table, right? These headings are kind of bluish, then this is blue, this is kind of white. So these are the different formattings this particular table has. Now understand one thing. This is the header row, the very first row. In this section, table design option, you can see that header row is selected. If I just unselect it and check it, my headers are gone, right? My headers are gone. If I click on it, it will show me. Do you want to see the first column? If I click on first column, so that first column, basically your rank is there, get highlighted. Do you want to see the last column? If I move to the last column, and if I select this last column, okay, so my last column's value are kind of bold or like highlighted. Now, This bended row is selected. So one row in the dark, a bit dark in color, and another one is light. This is nothing but the bended rows. Okay. If I unselect it, you will see table is now like this is kind of unified. Everything is similar. Now, the same way we have this bended row, we can go with bended column. So click on bended column and you will see that one column is dark in color, another one is light. So you can just select it or you can just remove it. Okay. Now, this filter button are there. If you just click on this, uncheck. See, notice over here on the right hand side of your uh, each and every name of your column. So if I go with filter button and you will see these buttons are there. Now understand one thing. In your table, when you insert an Excel table on your data, you'll get these tabs. This is actually showing you the power of heading. So a heading consists of all the values which lies inside it. So if I show you, if I click on this category and if I click on this drop down, you'll see you can sort your complete column by just clicking on this heading. You can sort it from like ascending order, descending order, from A to Z or Z to A. You can sort it by color. Okay, you can put some filter. So you can see that there are some industries. Let's say someone has asked you in this data to remove something. So what you'll do is simple. You'll click on this drop down and you can just put some filters over here. Okay, so this is the power of an Excel table. Okay, now in the next section or our upcoming video, we'll see how we can just apply the uh, customized things. Okay, how you can just create your own table style, how you can create your own cell style. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.